we may proceed to the next topic. No? The next topic is the building user interface. No? Uh, Understanding XML and views is important, no, in Android development. Again, because in Android development, XML, pag sinabi XML, extensible markup language, no? It plays a pivotal role in defining, take note, defining user interface and creating layouts for application. Okay? Saan ginagamit sa XML? Defining user interface and creating layouts for application. Each screen layouts is designed using XML files, no, which allow developers to define the visual structure of the app. So layouts naman po in XML act as containers, no, that control how UI elements are positioned and displayed. Okay? So kung paano natin ipoposition yon at paano i-display, trabaho po ni layouts yon under siya ng XML. Ano po? So, uh, Android provides several layout types. So each with unique characteristic. Let's say, for example, no, uh, layouts, no, or linear layout arrange elements in a single direction. Either pa vertical po yan or pa horizontal. Yun naman pong relative layout, position element in relation to each other or the parent. And meron po tayong constraint layout. Ito naman po enables complex responsive design with minimal nesting. So by choosing the appropriate layout, developers can optimize UI efficiency and readability. Now, Android also provide various UI or user interface components now that developers can use within these layouts. Okay. Common UI components include text view. Familiar naman tayo sa text view. Siyempre, pag sinabi ng text view, used for displaying text. We have button, no? Used for interaction. Diba? We have edit text, used for input. No? Kaya nga edit text, no? And syempre, ang importante, image view for displaying image or images. Each component has attributes like width, height, padding, and margin that can be adjusted in XML for a tailored look. So components in XML files are mapped to corresponding Java or Kotlin objects. So making it easy for developers to access and manipulate them programmatically. So this approach streamlines UI development as changes made in XML are immediately reflected in the app's interface, allowing for rapid iteration. So I believe, no, so by using or leveraging XML and views, you as developers can build user interfaces that are both visually appealing and highly functional. Kasi kayo mga bata, medyo madiskarte pa kayo sa mga design na napaka-artistic nyo. No? So the XML-based design approach also aids in organizing code and keeping user interface definition separate from logic, making the app easier to maintain and modify. So this separation of concern is particularly valuable in collaborative environments where UI designers and developers work together. Furthermore, XML layouts allows for easy localization and adaptation to different screen sizes and resolutions, ensuring a consistent user experience across a wide range of Android devices. And may mga cases po na hindi iba ang user designer, iba rin po yung user developers na magkaiba yon. Minsan yung medyo talented talaga, siya na yung designer, siya pa yung developers. Ano po? Lahat nasa kanya ng lahat, no? Now, how about the hands-on with layout? With constraint layout. A while ago, no, doon sa unang topic natin, napag-usapan natin yung different layout. Isa doon yung constraint layout. So how we'll be able to use constraint or constraint layout in hands-on activity? Constraint layout is a versatile, no, and powerful layout introduced to help developers create complex layout while avoiding the deep nesting that can degrade app performance. So, unlike other layouts, syempre, constraint layout enables developers to position element using constraint rather than relying on parent-child relationship. Each view in constraint layout can be anchored, no, to another view or the parent container, no, making it easier to build responsive design uh, that adapt, no, to different screen sizes. No, constraint layout offers flexibility and control over component positioning, allowing developers to create sophisticated user interfaces, no, without excessive layout nesting. Kasi alam naman sa programming, no, kapag may mga yung parent-child, lalo kung kayo familiar sa data structure and algorithm, di po ba? So, ang daming process, ang daming kapag gumamit tayo ng constraint layout, it's too easy, no? Kasi nga po, it offers flexibility and control over component positioning. It allows us, no, to create sophisticated user interface without excessive layout nesting. So using guidelines and constraints, developers can create responsive layouts that dynamically adjust based on screen orientation and size. So, guidelines in constraint layout act as invisible lines that help position elements relative to each other or to specific screen regions. Now, so constraint can also be applied in various combinations such as aligning element to start and or center on screen, enabling more visually balanced design. No? So, constraint layout provides features like chains. No? Ano po yung chain? To distribute space between elements and bias, no? Ito naman pong bias to fine-tune the position of elements, giving us as developer advanced tools to achieve position UI layouts. Okay. So, again, hands-on experience with constraint layout is essential, no, for modern Android development. No, mastering constraint layout is advisable. Ako, ina-advise ko to you because it can build interfaces that are both aesthetically pleasing and adaptable, no, to different device, no, sizes and screen resolution. So this flexibility is important in Android diverse ecosystem, no, where uh, applications, no, need to perform consistently across a wide range of devices. No, using constraint layout reduces the need for multiple nested layouts, leading to better performance and smoother rendering, ultimately enhancing the user experience. Sa Java, no, alam ko namang aware tayo sa event handling. At alam kong familiar kayong gamitin ng event handling. Now, event handling is a key aspect of building interactive Android applications, no, enabling developers to define how an app responds to user actions. Now, in Android, click listeners are the most common way to detect and respond to user interaction. So a click listener is a function that is triggered, no, when the user taps a UI component such as yung button or image view. Let's say for example, uh, Developers can set up a click listener on a button to perform an action such as navigating to another screen, submitting data, or either displaying a message. Android provides various types of event listeners, including on-click listener for single taps and on-long click listener for long press actions, allowing for a broad range of user interaction. So setting up click listener involves associating its UI component with an event handler functions in the code. So these functions execute a specific actions when the component is stopped, creating a dynamic and interactive user experience. For instance, no, developer can define an on-click method in Java or Kotlin linking into the button in XML. No, Android supports handling more complex gesture like swipes, feathering drugs, hindi yung drugs na, no, which can be implemented using gesture detector and other gesture-related classes, making it possible to build more sophisticated interaction in application. So effective event handling is critical for providing user with a seamless and responsive experience. So understanding how to manage and respond to user actions, you as developers can build intuitive interfaces that enhance a user engagement. Properly implemented event handling also improves accessibility as interactive elements can be adapted for assistive technologies. So event handling po is a fundamental to crafting Android applications that are not only functional but also enjoyable to use. Tama po ba? As they respond predictably, predictably, no, inefficient to user inputs. No po? Okay. Now, another thing that we need to look into is the introduction to material design. No? Sa Android programming kasi, material design is Google's design language aimed at creating visually consistent, interactive, and user-friendly interfaces across Android and web platforms. Actually, na-introduce to way back 2014 if I'm not mistaken. No? So material design provides a set of guidelines, patterns, and components for designing cohesive user interfaces that reflect principle of motion, no, depth, and tactile feedback. So the material components library, no, for Android includes user interface elements, no, like card view, floating action button, snack bar, and bottom navigation view that adhere to material design principles, allowing developers to create interfaces that feel native, no, to the Android ecosystem. Through following these guidelines, no, we as developers can build applications that are visually cohesive and easy for user to navigate. No, styling and theming with material components give developers control over the look and feel of their application. So ensuring consistency across screens. Material design emphasizes responsive animations po, color schemes, and elevation, yung shadow po, no? Or elevation effects, yung shadow, that help create a sense of depth and hierarchy in the interface. Let's say, for example, no, using primary or secondary color schemes, no? Alam naman ninyo siguro yung primary secondary colors, ha? With appropriate contrast ratios makes the app more accessible and visually appealing. So components like toolbars, no, text fields, saka buttons in material design comes with default styling and interaction behavior, allowing us to build polished interfaces with minimal custom code. So, bakit kailangan si material design? Using material design principle in Android apps result in intuitive, accessible, and attractive user experience. So the consistent use of material components improves user familiarity as they recognize and understand the behavior of material design element across apps, no? So, material design adaptability to various screen sizes and orientation helps ensure that apps looks and functions well on different devices. Kasi syempre, different sizes ng mobile phone, minsan ginagamit sa tablet, minsan po sa PC, and so on. So, from smartphone to tablet, minsan, ano po? So, incorporating material design, it make more engaging, no, and user-centric. Uh, Di ba po? Engaging user-centric kapag yung flexible siya. Kasi kung halimbawa nasa maliit, tapos maliit din siya. Tapos kung nasa malaki, di ba, kailangan ano siya, adjustable siya. Okay? So, yun yung topic number 2 na dapat ma-share ko sa inyo.